Make sure to reward yourself for being such a bomb-ass person, and don't feel guilty when you choose to do something that makes you happy, no matter what anyone fucking says. Hi sweet peas, and welcome back to your weekly dose of self-love starts with me. I'm your girl Midori, and make sure that you guys follow me on my Instagram or subscribe to my podcast Midori's World that can be found on all streaming devices. Now today's topic is self-love. Now I bet you guys are saying, Midori, I know about self-love. Yeah. Yeah, I bet you do. Well, if you knew what self-love actually was, you wouldn't be A, staying in a toxic relationship that doesn't serve you, B, blaming or hating yourself for things that were completely out of your control, C, self-sabotaging your blessings coming your way because you feel deep down inside that it won't work out even if you tried, or D, all of the above. So yeah, instead of running your mouth, boo, keep on watching this video because clearly I want to see you shine. Also make sure to comment down below of this video because I would really like to see what multiple choice you were or you answered with and why. Now, what is self-love? Self-love is a state of mind in which we consciously show appreciation to ourselves with our actions that support our physical, psychological, and spiritual growth, both currently and in the future. Self-love is dynamic. It grows through actions that help mature us. When we act in ways to expand our life, we expand our self-love. We begin to accept our shortcomings and our strengths. We have a less need to explain our shortcomings to people, and we can be more centered around our life purpose and values. Now, some people will say that a beauty makeover or a set of new clothes is a form of self-love. Yet, that has more to do with confidence instead of self-love, because once the makeover is taken off or your new clothes become your regular outfit from H&M, you're internally still going to feel the same way. Since self-love deals more about how you internally view yourself than how you externally present it to the world. Meaning, no inspirational book without self-reflection will bring enough change in yourself for self-love to thrive in. No new relationship can make you love yourself more, especially long-term wise. Although they feel great and gratifying, these are not places in which self-love can actually thrive in. Most of the time, these types of activities can actually cause self-hate and can even be more self-destructive if you do them already hating yourself. Now, let me go into depth about the multiple choice options. A, staying in a toxic relationship that does not serve you. Being in bad company can actually be more hurtful and harder to bear than being by yourself, which is the number one reason why people stay in toxic relationships. They can't be alone, which is something I'll cover in depth in a future video. It's understandable why being alone is hard for some people since human beings are social. It's understandable why being alone is so hard for some people since human beings are social beings. However, we all need to look back once in a while at a relationship we're in or a relationship in the past that we deem as toxic, take ourselves out of it so we can just see if there are any warning signs for the future may hold, especially if you're currently in it and you're just taking a break, or just to self-reflect to see the warning signs that you should have seen while in that relationship. And you guys can only do this when your mind is cleared and you're out of it. So whether you take a break or you just take some time to sit down and self-reflect on a lunch break or at home, we all need to do it in a clear state of mind to self-reflect and see the things that maybe we should have saw from the beginning. Doing this can help you prepare for your next relationship, just in case it starts taking the same turns as your previous one did, so that you can either correct it as soon as it happens or get out of there before you are utterly fucking miserable. Or maybe that self-reflection time can even help correct your current relationship depending on the toxicity level of the relationship. Now here's the thing that needs to be said. Toxic people tend to stay toxic. So your best bet is to cut your losses and look ahead. Since you deserve to be happy, even if it means cutting someone out of your life and the whole equation of forever. And if you're shallow, the stress of being in a toxic relationship can cause you to break out, even get wrinkles. And does anyone want that? I didn't think so. Now let's move on to B. Blaming yourself or hating yourself for things that were completely out of your control. Self-blame is one of the most toxic forms of emotional abuse. It amplifies our perceived inadequacies, whether real or imagined, paralyzing us before we can even begin to move forward. Which leaves us in a mindset in which we begin to question if we can still change or if that's too late, when the truth is, it's never too late. It's only too late to change when you believe that it is. One factor that significantly contributes to our system of self-blame is the failure to recognize our own humanity. On one hand, we are very much so perfect human beings, perfect in spirit, not so much in our humanness or waiting on a checkout line in Target or Best Buy without cursing in our heads on how long it's taking. Yet, rather than holding space or acknowledging the abiding double-edged aspect of human conditioning, we often dwell in the illusion of our perfectionism, or at the very least, our need to be right. Which is so bad when it comes to self-love. The famous Buddha once said, "You, yourself, as much as anyone else in the entire universe, deserves your love and affection." Meaning, don't be so hard on yourself, but do be self-reflective. And if you fall in this category or find the urge to always be right, comment down below on why you feel like you need to be right in every situation, knowing that there will be instances that you will be wrong. Then there comes C. Self-sabotaging blessings coming your way because you feel deep down inside that it won't work out, even if you try. Honestly, we've all been there when we date a fuckboy or fuckgirl that clear as day made it so clear that they were going to be toxic and just as toxic as a Drake song. But yet, we still allow them in our lives and get mad when they break our hearts. Or maybe you're a procrastinator, or you're procrastinating because you want it to be at its best, but never get it done because you feel like you can never make it at its best, which also falls under self-sabotaging. Or maybe you don't even try at all because you've already envisioned yourself not even getting that far, which I hope this video makes you pick up whatever you dropped and go for it all the way. Self-sabotaging is an incredibly frustrating cycle of behavior that lowers our self-confidence and leaves us feeling stuck. There are many reasons why some may choose to self-sabotage, but many stem from a lack of self-esteem or belief in ourselves. Substance abuse, turning to food, or even procrastination can be ways in which we self-sabotage ourselves. The first step of releasing self-blame is to recognize responsibility. In other words, who owns what and where does our personal ownership lie? If we have done our due diligence, if we have entered a moment of honesty and authenticity with ourselves, then should things go awry, it will be clear on how much of it is our own doing. And then, and only then, can the journey of self-love truly begin. As someone who has self-sabotaged myself a couple of times, I would love to know why you've done it and hear your stories in the comments below. Now let's talk about ways to develop self-love. This is my favorite part, guys. Tip number 1. Do mirror work to plant the seeds of self-love in your mind, because your thoughts are where your inner turmoil begins. In her work, Louise Hayes, an American author, talked a lot about so-called mirror work. This technique is simple and it's really powerful, guys. All you have to do is stand by a mirror, look yourself right in the eyes, and say, I love you. It might sound like a lot at first, guys, but keep doing it and it will get easier and easier to do until it finally sounds true in your heart. You can do it at any time of the day. You can do it whenever you find yourself in front of a mirror. I recommend doing it in the morning because you usually don't wake up in a bad mood, which is better because then your thoughts aren't negative, meaning that your mindset isn't as well. And that's the most important thing when implementing this in your daily routine. And in no time, if you do it consistently, it will change how you feel about yourself in no time. Even looking in a mirror and saying the things you love about yourself, even if it's one thing you love about yourself, for 365 days of the year, and slowly you will begin to love yourself as well. I promise you that by the end of the year, you will at least grow to love yourself or that thing just a little bit more. Now, the second technique comes from Oprah and it is affirmations. Now, there are many ways to do affirmations, but the 2 ways I'm going to talk about are very popular. The first one is affirmation notes. Sort of like a reminder, but instead of reminding you to go pick up food from the grocery store, it's reminding you to love yourself. To do this, grab a stack of sticky notes and write 10 to 15 positive skills or traits that you love about yourself. If you're having trouble of thinking of something, then ask your family members and friends to describe you. Make sure your family/friends/lovers are not toxic or manipulative and actually want to see you get better. There's no need for people writing shitty things or you writing shitty things about yourself on sticky notes because of someone being an ass. Anyway, make sure that they're not sneak dissing you to an early grave. After you make these sticky notes of affirmations about how much you love yourself and how amazing I know you are, you're going to want to place them around the house wherever you know that you're going to see them every day, which can be your bathroom, your refrigerator, etc., etc. And these are going to serve as your daily reminders of just how awesome you are. Now, if you can't stomach that or you're too embarrassed to do that, let's talk verbal affirmations. You can say your verbal affirmations in the privacy of your room out loud, a bathroom, or you can even say them in your head. I am going to give you an affirmation by Louise Hayes to start you off on your journey. This affirmation by her is good to say when you feel like you're down on luck or things aren't going well for you. Now let's begin. All is well. Everything is working out to my highest good, and out of this situation, good will come, and I am safe. Let's say it again. All is well. Everything is working out to my highest good. And out of this situation, good will come, and I am safe. Now make sure to say this mantra about 5 times a day, or whenever you feel like there's something happening or you feel nervous or anxious, just make sure that you say your affirmation 5 times a day or when you're nervous, and I promise you, you will see the result. And the last technique is to cultivate gratitude to welcome more loving and blessing things in your way, whether it's your present or your future life. Guys, no matter how dark the world gets, especially in these times, you have to believe that this is just a bump in your road to glory, and that this bump will only make you a better person, but a stronger person and a wiser one as well. Also, there is so much in the world to be thankful for. The first thing I could think of is breathing, living till the age we are, and having so much more in our future to come. To practice gratitude successfully in your everyday life, you must first act and live as if that thing that you've been wanting, that job that you've been wanting, that technique that you've been wanting, or even skill that you're wanting, that you have already obtained it. You need to act like you are living in the realm of that success, that you're living in that gratitude, that you're living in the outcome that you so deeply want. Because if you are living like you haven't had it, that you might not have it, if you're nervous about it, it won't come, because you're already having your head the failure. You've already had you not getting it. And if you already have that and you don't believe in yourself, why would it come your way? And second, that there is an external source for that outcome, meaning that you believe no matter what, that outcome is going to come your way. Even if the first way doesn't work out, the second way is coming. Psychologist, sorry about that, guys. My camera died, so let's get back to where we once were. Psychologists find that over time, feeling grateful boosts happiness, fosters both physical and psychological health, even among those already struggling with mental health problems. Studies show that practicing gratitude curbs the use of expressing negative emotions and shifts the inner attention away from such negative emotions as resentment, envy, and minimizing the possibility to overcome and succeed. Further, the beneficial effects snowball over time. Brain scans of people assigned tasks that stimulates expression of gratitude show lasting changes in personal cortex that heightens the sensitivity to future experience of gratitude. Meaning that the more gratitude you are today, the more happy, positive, and better your life is going to be in the future. The emotion of gratitude literally pays itself forward, which then creates a great habit of self-love. There is no one better to fall in love with than yourself. You are the person who is with you from the very start, and you will be the person you are with until the very end. So count the many ways you're special, and remind yourself every day why you matter, and why your feelings matter, and everything else that's important to you. Make sure to reward yourself for being such a bomb-ass person, and don't feel guilty when you choose to do something that makes you happy, no matter what anyone fucking says. And if you fail at doing these things consistency, if you can't seem to find something good about you or to be gracious or happy about, please, 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 please try, because you yourself deserve to give yourself a chance at happiness. Also, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and also make sure to leave a comment below just to talk about your experiences with self-love. I'd really like to start a community and just a place where we can discuss, and if you know anyone that needs this video, please make sure to send it their way. Thank you guys for everything. I'll see you later, sweet peas. Bye.